Fortunately, we don't really allow that too often, allow private actors to jump. Though I think the success of the Build America bond programs and things of that nature really done a good job of really opening markets and allowing, at least from the state's perspective, opportunities to fund projects that were a little bit had a significant federal backing to those projects and allow minority-owned businesses to come in under that way. But to the second point, what Steve I think talked to really was this notion of pooling and credit, and I think that's a wonderful idea to pull together resources. The only thing I would caution it, like anything, partnerships has its advantage. Now, this is my lawyer hat coming on now, and I would say to the minority-owned business, always you want to pool, but I think pooling sometimes it's better to be on your own, and if you can get in the door that way, that's a much better way, I think, for just practical business reasons. I mean, it's easier to be the general contractor. Maybe the minority-owned businesses should go to someone and says, "Listen, we'll team up with you on this, but we take the lead." And that's usually what I like to see, because what I don't like to see, and which happened, I'm sure some of you may recall, in the 80s and the early 90s, what was happening was that a lot of big companies, in order to get eligible for these minority-owned set-asides or minority-owned businesses, what they would do is they'd have a great credit, and they would say, "We can get this contract," and then they would form some subsidiary that was minority-owned, but it really didn't have any power or influence. They were just using it as a back-end way to get the contract. So a lot of times, I try to make sure I study that relationship a lot. Whenever I see a teaming relationship, says, is this a true teaming relationship? Does this minority-owned contractor, is it value add? Are they going to have a responsible, meaning part of this contract? And therefore, if they're benefiting from the synergies, the credit rating, capital of a larger partner, that's fine to me. But I always want to make sure that the relationship is real. And I tell every MBE, no matter what capacity I'm meeting with them, is that don't be a sham, right? There's nothing, you are setting aside the cause if you are a sham, right? That just hurts everyone, because what ends up happening is there'll be some expose in the newspaper about how this one messed up relationship happened. It was a sham relationship, and therefore we should get rid of all the minority-owned programs, all the programs, that are supporting minority-owned businesses. So don't set back the cause because you are so quick to want to get a contract. Understand, do it the right way. You're eventually going to get caught if you do it the wrong way. But yet, if there's a real business relationship for that, do it. I'll support it. I'm sure Steve would support it. David support it. I think that's what we're looking for, but as long as it's not a sham.
Thank you very much. Please join me in thanking our panelists, Director Henson, Director Grossman, Director Flowers. Net, the ball is squarely in our court, so thank you for joining us.